Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Monday, September 27th, 2010. Well, folks, a very quiet day on Wall Street today. Trading 80 million on the SPY as we approach 2:30 p.m. We're probably on par for one of the lightest days of 2010 today, which again, you have to say to yourself, it looks more and more like Friday's little move up and sideways trading range to keep this market halted. And then again, everyone has just gone to sleep here in the markets. Now, you could speculate on reasons why. Do you have manipulation coming in here? There's been a lot of talk about the Federal Reserve buying treasuries from banks and the banks propping the markets up over the last month or so of September. Just before the markets seemed to want to crash out, starting in September, this came in. And again, notice how it came in late August, July, August. You had very light volume, very easy to keep the markets propped up. September, the volume's supposed to come back. What happens, again, these rumors speculating on whether or not the Federal Reserve or really the plunge protection team is in here playing games. Either way, we have to trade it. That's our goal here at In the Money Stocks. Again, we couldn't care less really what's the cause of what. You just have to base your decisions off of what is really going on, dissect the charts, and come to a conclusion about which direction this market's going to float. Right now, you see clear and easy intraday levels working. Right now, your double top here at 114.85 to 114.90. That's clear as a bell right here. And if I zoom out, you can see even better. Take a look at this. Go back to early last week. I believe this was last Tuesday. The pivot top on the Fed pop right there when the Federal Reserve came out and announced their interest rate decision there. That was the pop to 114.80 to 85. You fell off of that big reversal last Thursday. Friday, you popped right back into it. And again, you topped out this morning and are now hitting into it today currently. Now, if this breaks, your level is going to be a pierce of the even number of 115. That's going to be your next level of resistance that the market intraday will have to push through. And you can see we're pushing right into it right now, the upper level high of the day right on the flat line. So again, just to go over what this market is currently doing, it is essentially flat. The Dow is up 60 cents. That's it, folks. That's essentially a zero on the Dow. NASDAQ is up $1.75 or 1.75 points, and the S&P 500 is down 25 cents. So you can't really get more quiet than today. The markets again opened here. A little bit of selling came in. The markets then got propped up. Little bear flag noting there. Again, those of you that follow the money stocks methodology, notice the bear flag formation inside of that drop, sideways inside bars, setting up for another little bit of a drop. You did take out this little pink line, but interestingly enough, you never confirmed below it. Now, the interesting thing about this, for those of you that follow the methodology, I do recommend joining the Research Center to learn this methodology. We teach it inside of the Research Center. Very important you understand this because it will serve you in every avenue of trading. You could be trading currencies or commodities or stocks or ETFs or anything, and it will work on all time frames as of that. So again, notice that bear flag. The bear flag works as a little sell-off. You get below the pink line, but no confirmation sell signal there. Therefore, what you do is you sit on the sidelines and do not short. Now, you did have a bear flag, but because you never confirmed below it, and because this bear flag continued for too long, there's a certain count or some certain keys that you look for based on the bear flag, because you had another bear flag here, folks. You had the first one up here that I just pointed out. That's a bear flag. That one did play out. Notice how it's not too many candles long. On the lower one right here, take a look at this, and let me just erase this line right here. We'll leave it in there for now, but nonetheless, then you had this one to the downside, and this long bear flag. It also looks like a perfect bear flag, but it really went on too long. When a bear flag cannot conclude itself by falling, or a bull flag can't conclude itself by raising higher or moving higher, after a certain amount of time, you have to realize that's a signal of failure. Because again, the bears in this situation wanted to push it down. You can even see one tail down here trying to drop it, and it fails. Again, that's the bulls coming in and saying not so fast. Or in this case, maybe the plunge protection team, Federal Reserve or banks, trying to prop the market up, keep it from falling down. Granted, the volume today, there's no way in this volume environment the market's going to be able to fall much. And I'm saying that truthfully, folks. When you have this type of volume, don't expect it. You need heavier volume. My thought process is you need to do 200 or more million on the SPY, which is about average to see any sort of downside. Today, we're on pace to do maybe 135 million for the whole day unless we'd see a major pickup. And that, again, will be in line with pretty much the lightest day of 2010, even going back to some of the light days right around the holidays. I mean, that's what we're talking about in volume terms right now. Either way, the bear flag here, you should have seen there were multiple signals this could have failed. First off was the no confirmation below the pink line. Second of all, it went too long there. When it's going that long, realize it's probably going to fail. Plus, you have the propping going on in the markets, and all of a sudden, you do get this little bit of a pop. A small increase in volume called a buy program comes in. Buy programs are initiated by by computer programs and algorithms and black box trading programs. When a button is clicked, they buy the basket of S&P stocks or the basket of the Dow stocks, and then the market just floats up. You can see every stock really following that kind of trend. Market just floating up here. Where does it go? Right back to the high. Again, right here at the highs of the day, right at the 114.85 to 90 level. That is resistance. If you break through that, look for a touch of the 115 level. 115 will be a key level as well to be on point at for a possible resistance point. Usually you let it pierce by a little bit and then it pulls back underneath. But again, be careful of light volume today. It's a very, very tricky market to be shorting when it's this light volume. In general, what I tell my traders in the intraday stock chat, which by all means you should be checking out and joining, is in light volume days like this, always buy pullbacks into key levels and really be careful shorting against key resistances, because again, resistance will be broken much more easily than supports in light volume. These are words of wisdom to really learn and guide yourself by to make millions in this market. In any sort of market, you can make that type of money. All right, let's go over a couple other things here, folks. Let's take a look at oil today. Oil has just recently, over the last hour or so, really picked up. It was weak. It's back to the flat line, essentially, on the USO. You can see the USO gapped up today. This is the ETF for oil. Then it fell sharply and kind of hovered in the low end of the chart. Just recently, just when that buy program hit the market, you can see this lifting itself as well. Going over the dollar. The dollar is a very important little figure here, and the dollar has really been in the lower ranges of the day. Remember, the lower the dollar or the weaker the dollar, the more likely the market's able to float. The dollar today is up 3 pennies on the UUP, which is the dollar index. That's basically a flat day, but you can see it's even off the highs, and as it came off the highs, the market just floated back to the flat line, and that holds true. Again, up dollar, market goes down, and then down dollar, market goes up. All right, GLD, let's talk some gold action. Gold, almost nothing going on today, which makes sense. If the dollar's really not moving today much, things are pretty quiet on the markets. Gold is probably in a stationary holding pattern as well. Gold continues to be at the upper ranges of the chart on the daily chart. See that rally it's had? Just a consistent small rally each day, but it adds up into a big mega rally. I mean, that's a huge move from 114 to 126.5. We're hovering up here in just the last really 2 months or 3 months' time. An amazing rally in gold. Now let's go back to the SPY and just touch on a couple other things here on the intraday. Again, you can still see that resistance holding up. And again, please note that that resistance line goes back all the way to early last week on Tuesday on the Fed pop, and that's what we can't get through, and that's going to be your break point. If you get through there, again, you'll probably go to 115 and change, and then possibly all the way to the master level of 116, but it's really all about this 114.85 to 114.90 level to watch. All right, if this were to fail, let's say we don't break this in the next 2 days, you have to go into a little bearish stance. All right, this level should really be taken out either today or tomorrow. If it's not taken out today or tomorrow, it's telling you something, and it's telling you institutions are probably selling into that, and you want to be on the lookout for some downside. Now, just one more thing, folks, as I talk a little bit of intraday analysis and give you guys projections on what to look for later in the week, I want to remind you, you want to join that research center we offer at inthemoneystocks.com. Again, it includes everything listed at inthemoneystocks.com underneath the research center. That includes the nightly videos I do personally, 30 to 40 minutes in length every single night of the market week. All right, daily market reports every day, new daily market reports with key levels on gold and oil and everything else. Hidden gem plays, again, small cap plays that usually race up. The last hidden gem I did up about 100% now from the mention. The new hidden gem is up in the money already as well that I just posted earlier about a week or two ago as well. Amazing type moves there. You got hot charts and alerts with key swing trades posted. Pro Trader watch list, which is the watch list of our pro traders here at In the Money Stocks. Everything that they're looking at every day. All included, $49.99 a month. It is a steal of a deal. We encourage you to join and start to learn. The education is top notch, and that's really the goal here, folks. We're going to teach you how to make money, not just give you the play that's going to make you money. And again, that's the key in this market environment. Have a wonderful afternoon. Again, market hovering up near resistance. I will talk to you soon. Take care.